All right. So y'all know I have, for those of you who do know, I have insomnia and such. But so I don't really, plus sleep apnea, whatever. So I don't really sleep. But happened to catch this old video of Brandon Tatum. I love watching his videos. Man, he looks so much younger. This is 2 years ago, but he looks so much younger. But anyway, I mean, I've been following him for a little while, so I don't understand why I didn't catch this particular video. But it gets into
what's going on, y'all?
Where's the title? Why Black Men Choose White Women Over Black Women. Now, I do have an opinion on this because going back to my childhood, I mean, yeah, I got, of course, Black relatives and, but there were friends. I never really had any Black friends. I mean, my dad was Navy, and when he got out of the Navy, we moved immediately. I was about 5, moved immediately to this middle-class white neighborhood. And so basically all my friends were white. My neighbors were white, and it's not a culture thing because, still spent time around my country relatives, Black relatives, Black friends and family and whatever that would come over, or we'd go over there, so I was more, I mean, school-wise, yeah, I was more around white people than Black people, but and then of course, during that period of time, friends-wise, most of my friends were white, or Asian, actually, Japanese, Filipino, but it was very, very slim if I were attracted to Black girls. It's just, and I'm being straight up honest here. In a way, I think I'm trying to pick and choose my words, but for those of y'all who know me, I really don't give a damn. I don't. So I've always been attracted to non-Blacks. It's a personal taste. See, and I thought coming from my era, the 70s, I was born in 1970, so right after the 60s, I never appreciated anybody trying to tell me who I am, what I am, who somebody else on the outside trying to define me, which my mother always made sure to point out. Don't let nobody else try to tell you who you are or what you're capable of. You are who you are by your own choice. So, man, if my mom were alive today, oh my God, if she were alive today, she would see this bullshit and just be like, what? I mean, as I said, it's just what he's talking about. Brandon is a good man, so I ain't worried about, it's just the particular subject, about who we feel like dating. I dated everything but Black. Now, mind you, I did have some Black girlfriends, but they were Black like me. For one, they were mixed. And two, they had the mentality of, I'm just an individual. I'm not Black. I'm just me. And that's what I dated. That's what I liked. That's what I still like to this day. And my dad, I forgot how old I was, but it was a family reunion on my mom's side. And my dad's trying to humiliate, he's drunk. My dad was an alcoholic, which is one of the reasons why I don't really drink. It's why I don't do any kind of vice. I was saying that to a friend earlier, as a matter of fact. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I have a huge problem with people that drink. As I said, I mean, my dad was an abusive alcoholic. My mom's an alcoholic. My brothers are alcoholics. Um, I was drunk, and he's sitting there trying to humiliate me in front of the black relatives over, that I don't want to date blacks. Mark, he doesn't like black women. He don't like blacks. He only dates these white girls. And I'm like, it's not just white, but you're right. I've never really been attracted to black women. There are some that I'm attracted to. Karen White, love her. Of course, attractiveness as in looks, and then of course personality. Used to be attracted to Alicia Keys until she all of a sudden became all like she's ghetto, even though I don't think she was really raised that way. Now all of a sudden she's ghetto, and now she's woke, and all it's ugliness is not just in your looks. So Gladys Knight, ooh, beautiful woman. Diana Ross. I mean, so there are a lot of black women I'm attracted to, but attraction is completely different than maybe wanting to date them or something. I've never been a person that has liked black culture, whatever the hell that is. Because to me, black culture, are we talking black culture post Africa? Being here in the United States as an American. I mean, when black people have tried, oh, you ain't really black. And I'm like, well, you're right, because I'm mixed. So, yeah, but I am still part black. Oh, no, you ain't black. Who the hell are you? Who made you the king of black people that you get to decide who and is or is not black? I hate that. I cannot stand that. That pisses me off more than anything. I grew up already knowing and believing we are who we are. We get to define ourselves. So how is it 40 years later, through my childhood anyway? So what? I had my own identity by the time I was like 4. So talking like 45 years later of these idiot, not him, but I'm just pointing in general. I'm an East Coast person. We talk with our hands. How is it that now in this day and age, this Z generation, or the millennials for that matter, or whatever, where they're like, oh, we got a diversity and individualism. And it's like, bitch, I've been talking about that since I was like 4 or 5. You weren't even not even born, but some of your parents weren't even alive when I was already talking about this. So you were late to the game, like late. What the hell are you talking about? But let's get into the video, because this whole black card, I haven't posted a video in a while. I was going to try and post at least every day for a while to catch up on certain topics, and then get to a point of doing it like at least once a week. But I guess I should post pretty much every day, considering there's just a ton of crap out there that's infuriating me. Anyway.
I thought I'd make a video. I was thinking about this this morning when I woke up. I think about this all the time, but I was thinking about it heavily this morning because a lot of people have initiated discussions with me about this. Obviously, I have my own personal thoughts and experiences with this certain subject, but
same here.
It came up, and it keeps coming up time and time again about why do black men date white women. Now, I'm gonna tell you what.
Now, I personally like dating outside of the black race because of the fact that, I had to deal with it a lot. As I said, my dad trying to humiliate me at a family reunion, certain friends, a group of girls, one wigger, which is a white, confronting me like a couple of months after I married my ex-wife, who is Latina. She's Mexican, like, oh, we heard you married a white girl, that you don't like, black women and everything and stuff. And oh my God, all these men, all these white bitches just stealing our black men. And I was like, whoa, I don't even know you girls for one. I knew one of them, the white girl, but it was like, what are y'all? It's like, for one, my wife isn't white, she's Mexican. Two, I don't remember that I got something on my body that says I belong to the black race, that I belong to black women. Nobody tells me what to do. It's like, this is what was it, 1992? At the time, I think it was 92. Yeah, 92, because we kind of left soon after that. So 92, 93, it was somewhere in there, late 92, early 93. And it was like, I don't remember, somebody putting a claim on me, like I'm supposed to belong to black women. Three, I'm mixed anyway. I'm not, obviously you can look at me and tell that I'm not black. I'm mixed. So for this bullshit of them trying to say that that these white women are stealing. I don't remember white women being out on the street corner with nets and fishing gear or something, snatching black men off the corners and stuff, No. Reason why, and I've had this discussion many times in my life. Well, Mark, why do you date white girls? Not so much here in Texas, because it's Texas, but back on the East Coast, where of course there's a lot of blacks and a lot of whites, them up there trying to, why is it you only, you date these white girls? Well, because I'm not really, for one, I'll admit, I'm not really attracted to black women. I think they're dirty. That's just a personal thing with me. Going back to my child, like, no, go away, but if it was a white person, I'd be like, hey, pick me up, but that when people try to say, when gays and everybody try to say, oh, it's inbred in me, it's who I am, that's I've always felt that I was a woman, or that I was, that kind of stuff. Well, I definitely felt that I was not really attracted to black people, and I will admit, it just seemed like they were dirty. I always kind of thought that, like, they were dirty. I mean, somebody tried to get me to put it into words, so I did. I was like, I just don't. I think they're gross, But there, as I said, there are some black women I'm attracted to. But it was like, oh, so what, you think these white girls are pure or something? And I'm like, well, I mean, when you wash things, your whites are supposed to be white, so and snow is white, so you kind of do, just by nature, for that matter, you do associate with cleanliness and pureness as white. You just kind of do. And yes, it's not like it changes who a person is or anything by their race or whatever, but my initial, outside of family situations, yes, I mean, I dealt with real racism. None of this fake ass crap that these young people try to out here talk about today. No, I'm talking real racism. So yes, I got that from the whites and everything else. And I felt, and of course you had my mom, like, don't let nobody try to define you. You can do what you want to do. So that was that. But then you had black people, loud, crude, obnoxious. I mean, here I am looking at the white people who are working, and they had the cars, they had the money, they had the RVs, and it's not like white privilege bull, BS bullshit. No, they earned it. They worked for it. Then you had the black people, at least the ones that, I mean, I have a lot of black rich relatives, and they don't even like niggas. Let's just say it straight out. They don't even like the kind of black people that I'm talking about. Ghetto. So it's not a black or white thing or whatever. It's not even a culture thing or whatever the hell you have. I mean, the country's only a little over 200 years old. So it's not like we're talking European culture. This is America. This ain't Europe. This ain't France. This ain't England. This ain't Switzerland. This is America. We're like, we know the difference between Europe and Eurasia and all that crap and America. We know the difference. We're American. I've just, as I said, I've never been really, there are some black women that as I said, that I've been attracted to, but I've been mostly into non-black, white, Asian, Latina, that's just my own personal thing. But this whole mess about, somebody pointed out about the black card, like losing your black card or some crap or whatever, that he points it out. I got to keep getting into the video.
Over time, I've noticed that it is it's something that's trending more than it used to,
this was 2 years ago,
whatever, from my perspective, from my opinion, and what I've seen personally. And what I like to say about it is that it has more to do with culture than it does race. Okay, and I can say some of these things because I have.
See, now I do have a problem when he says culture because, as I said, what are we talking? We ain't talking Africa. So we're talking Black American culture among blacks. We're not talking Africa because out of all the black relatives and friends and acquaintances I have, ain't none of them bitches African. So when they say culture, we're talking also what, after slavery? I mean, now this culture thing, I mean, my mind is twisted when it comes to these particular subjects because I grew up in it. I asked my mom once, why was she so damn loud and everything else? It's like, well, that's the way black people are. And I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? Mom, what the hell does that mean? What do you mean that's the way they are? Being all loud. But of course, you look at a lot of African videos, they're loud. I got a lot of people that say, Mark, that side of you comes out. And I'm like, but then again, I'm also Black Irish. So Irish people are loud too. So I got it from both sides kind of thing. And he's like, we must let the people know that we're here. It's like, I don't know. But this black culture thing, why can't we just be who we are? I'm not, even if I were more into black women or the black culture or whatever, I'd still be me. I'd still be my own individual self. Not going to I am who I am. Play role-playing games. I love reading books, none of the crap that I do is black, which I still don't even understand what the hell that means. So when the Obamas even talk about that shit, didn't they grow up both privileged? So I don't know where Michelle Obama's talking about black, that she's black only in her skin color. She ain't black. Michelle Obama and definitely Barack they are not black. They are straight up white. Don't let them fool you. They're just pulling the BS. It's funny. Where are all their black friends at? It's funny how most of the people you actually see them hanging around and everything are white, right? Interesting. I mean, yeah, they do go to a lot of black functions and all that other crap, but it's also other high society blacks. So if they do spend most of their times around blacks, sure as hell ain't no ghetto blacks. It's mostly high society blacks, which is just as privileged as white privilege. Anyway.
Personal firsthand experience. And I'll start with just a little background about me. I grew up in Fort Worth, Texas, predominantly all African-American community for most of my life. In the African American communities, there are certain things that you do and you do not do. For lack of better terms, certain things you do, you lose your race card, you lose your black card. And I hate to say it, but it's reality. We got to be transparent and honest. It's reality.
See, that's when I was like, okay, let me make my own video towards what he said. I like the man, but that comment just kind of pissed me off. Reality that you lose your black card if you don't do black things. Who's in charge of this magical, mysterious black Illuminati? Who's in charge? That they're sitting there like this is the Muslim police or some crap where they're like, oh, well, he ain't really talking ghetto, so that's a point off. He didn't wear his dashiki on Sunday, so that's a point off. I mean, who is doing that? Somebody going to show up at my house and be like, oh, we're revoking, like this is what Scott Pilgrim, we're taking your vegan card or some crap. Who is in charge of this, the black card? The cards I have is my bank card, my driver's license, my NRA card. These are memberships, but I don't remember my Costco card. I don't remember like getting a black card when I was a kid somewhere. I got my Social Security card, but I don't remember somebody showing up and being like, hey, we're giving you your black card. So is somebody going to show up at my house and revoke my black card? What the hell does that even mean? That is, oh my God, this kind of shit that pisses me off. Even his comment pissed me off. I mean, the reality of it, I could understand if he had said back then, but he's still putting it towards, I understand this is 2 years ago, but he's still putting it towards today's society of losing your black card. If he had responded with, I don't give a damn, after he said that, then I'd have been cool. But the fact that he didn't say that, I'm the one going, I don't give a damn. Let black people show up at my house. I'd be like, you better get off my damn property before I shoot you. Well, we're here to revoke your black card. What the hell does that mean? I don't have a damn black card. Oh, we're going to put a tattoo on you that says he ain't really black. Yeah, no, you ain't doing that shit either. I'll shoot you. Get the hell off my property.
So growing up, my sense of reality and relationships was based on what I saw predominantly, what I saw in my own personal life as far as my parental relationships and different things like that. So I can say this, and I'm not saying this is static and this is consistent with every single African American person on planet Earth. It's not. I'm not saying that. Just my own personal experiences with what I saw. Every black woman, and growing up at 22, I had never dated a woman who wasn't African American. Never did outside my race. And a lot of it was because that's a lot of what I was exposed to in our black community. And also it was stigmatized. You date anything outside of black, you will sell out, so on and so forth. So anyway,
sell out.
But I have to say, every single African American female that I dated.
Again, who is this magical black Illuminati that sell out to who? Who are you selling out to? I could date whoever the fuck I want to date. I'm not out there kidnapping anybody or anything or stealing people, and forcing somebody, arranged marriages or some crap. I could date whoever I want to date. I could marry whoever I want to marry. Who the hell is, man, I'll tell you right now. As I said, I've dealt with it personally through junior high, high school, my adult life, until I moved here to El Paso. But growing up in Virginia, yeah, black women always felt that they could tell you what to do. And I hate to tell you, but that's one of the reasons why I don't want to date black women. I want somebody who's going to be my partner, not somebody who's like, well, this is the way I am, and all the head movement, all this other crap. And I don't want that. which is the reason why I don't. And I've had somebody say, "Oh, you just don't have the balls to date a black woman." No, bitch. I just would rather. I don't want to be fighting with my woman. I want to be, equal to partner with my woman. I don't want her being all loud, rude, and obnoxious. Well, this is just the way black. See, this is exactly why we don't want to date no black women. It's the reason why black men date white women, because y'all are loud, rude, obnoxious, crude. You're supposed to be a lady. You're supposed to be a woman. We want a lady. We don't want a bitch. We didn't marry a fucking wild rabid dog. We married a human being. We were wanting to date a human being. And that's the reason why black men don't want to date black women.
Either didn't know their dad or didn't have a good relationship with their dad. Was in a single parent home or was in a remarried situation where either dad didn't know dad or dad wasn't involved, or he was, like a secondary parent. And with that,
yeah, whatever,
comes issues,
look at
insecurities.
This. Even my cat is black and white, mixed like me. Look at that.
You involved in those circumstances, situation are counterproductive to a healthy, conducive life in its totality. Not
even
saying
she's
you can't
mixed.
be healthy with those circumstances. It's just better if
she's bugging
you have
me,
a streamlined,
so I had to pay some attention to her.
Representation of the way the family structure should be. So I have to say, but that was normal to me.
Oh my God, with their dumb commercials. Suicide. Yeah, hold on. I mean, look at that stupid commercial. Okay, there we go.
My parents aren't together. Although
let me add this disclaimer real quick. YouTube, Facebook, and all y'all, or whatever, if it gets to the point of being monetized, a lot of the people I follow, like Croter and all those other guys, how they're, they've been demonetized or whatever. I'm a disabled vet. I collect my disability so I can give a damn less about being demonetized. So screw you.
It's been in my life the whole time. My parents were very active, but they weren't together. So growing up, that's what I thought was normal. Fast forward that to when I went to college. Now, going to college opened my eyes to a lot of things, because to be quite honest, when you look at the demographic of most major universities, you're going to see that there is an overwhelming number of white people in comparison to where I grew up at, where you never saw white people unless they were a teacher at your school or they the police. And going to college is a huge culture shock, because you are now the minority. Now everything in life is not Afrocentric. It's not from an African American perspective, and you have to now.
See, I didn't grow up like him. I grew up, yes, in a white neighborhood, predominantly white as far as the school, but I had, of course, the black relatives and the black family members that would come over and play poker and all that other stuff. Like every weekend, we had cookouts and all that stuff every weekend. So I was around both black and white. So I made my own, black, white, and Asian. I made my own choices for who I liked and wanted to be attracted to. And things until he got to college. Black people, I'll tell you right now, are racist as hell. Blacks are straight up racist. Don't let anybody try to tell you otherwise. That black people aren't racist. Yeah, they are. Growing up my entire life, and I'm talking about dealing with the Klan, the straight up Klan, and the robes and all that, hoods and all that. Growing up dealing with the Klan, skinheads, blacks were way more racist than any of those organizations. Blacks, most of the racism I ever got in my life were from black people than racist white people any day.
Figure out how it applies to your life. So long story short, I got to college and a lot of myths start being unveiled, because growing up, you don't date white women. If you bring a white woman home, or you date a white woman, and I'm not saying this is my parents, this is society, this is peers. You date a white woman, you'll sell out, you get clowned, they talk bad about you.
Thing is, he's younger than I am. So I'm still trying to understand who he was hanging with, because we got over that crap really damn quick. I mean, yeah, there were the occasional people who, I mean, actually, nobody ever wanted to confront my mom. Nobody. There were a couple of black relatives, because I said it was my mother's side. The whole family reunion was my mother's side, and when my dad brought up, so black relatives on my mom's side. So what, you don't like black girls, but Mary, you need to tell that boy. And my mom's like, he can date whoever the hell he wants to date. Mom was like, nobody, Mama's gonna tell my son who the hell he can and can't date. And I never heard the phrase until what? I guess what it came out about maybe 15 years ago, the whole drop of black blood, you're black bullshit. But it was that whole, well, yeah, okay, so y'all are mixed and everything, but he still looks more black than white, so it's still not allowed. And my mom's like, who said? Whose rules? Well, it's still gonna be frowned on, and my mom's like, I don't give a damn. He could date whoever the hell he wants. See, so my mom was cool when it came to all that stuff.
Every name in the book. You want to be white, whatever the case may be.
Now, I had to deal with that. As I said, all this stuff I had to deal with personally. Oh, so you want to act white? I am part white. Can't you tell? I'm mixed. I'm part white. Oh, you want to talk white? It's called speaking English. We do speak English in this country, because I sure as hell ain't speaking Zimbabwe or Zuhili or Zulu or any other Z African word or whatever. Swahili, or which is, I'm not talking African. As a matter of fact, motherfucker, you ain't talking African. Aren't you speaking English? Well, I'm speaking black, which of course was that whole Ebonics phase bullshit that they tried to a language. No, dumbass, you're speaking unintelligible English. It's still English. Just because your ass was too lazy to actually learn it in school and learn the proper way of speaking, you want to talk culture, then why aren't you speaking do you even know where you're from in Africa? Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent. So do you know what tribe you're from to speak that particular tribe or region or area of Africa? Because I can still understand you, which means you're still speaking English. So, yeah, trying to act white, trying to be white, straightening your hair, because I did the whole Jerry Curl thing and did the whole, phase of straightening my hair and all that. Oh, you just trying to be all white? No, I just want what I want. I like what I like. You don't get to define. I did go through a phase when I tried to date black women. And this is before the whole light skin phase, El DeBarge and all that stuff, Prince. This is before all of that. When I was younger, going before that phase, when you were light skinned blacks didn't want you around. Oh, because you're light skinned, you think you're better than us. Oh, you ain't real black, so get out of here. But all of a sudden, when that light skin phase showed up with, the DeBarge and all that other stuff and everything, all of a sudden now it's like, ooh, red bones in. Ooh, light skinned people are in. Ooh, I'm like, we're talking some of the same black girls that wouldn't give me the time. Oh, light skinned is in. And I'm like, this is me as a kid, and I'm going, what? I'm in a phase. Get your bitch ass away from me. I'm gonna still date who the people that wanted me along the way, which was white girls. White girls liked me because they liked me. Had nothing to do with my skin color or some stupid phase or whatever. They liked me because of me. But here, black girls, all of a sudden, because there was this light skin phase, all of a sudden now trying, when I had my Plenty of Fish account, I had black women messaging me. It's like they would see the way, like my pictures that are on my profile, and just, so are you, just ask, so are you into black women? And I'm like, to be honest, no, not really. You know, I don't like the whole black whatever culture, whatever the hell that means. And I'm just not really, I mean, it's a rare, we're talking like, like squeeze in between your fingers, hair thin, of being attracted to black women. Because I don't like the attitude. I don't like, ask your black friend what plaits are. Um, I did my mom's hair with the hot iron, you know, comb and all. I know how to do all that shit. So I know how to do black hair. I know how to do all. I was still raised black, but my mom still didn't. She wanted me to know as far as black, but not that it defines who I am.
So, and the white women didn't have good bodies. They weren't.
What?
They didn't have a rhythm, and you can't bring them home. That was stigmatized in a lot of young black men growing up. It was stigmatized in me growing up. Got to college, found out that those things were in large part a myth.
A lie.
But the biggest thing and the most crucial point that I'm trying to make here is that when I got to college, I started seeing things that I never thought of before. My understanding of the world started changing. It sounds funny because I never heard of sushi before I went to college. I didn't know what sushi was. Somebody mentioned it to me. I'm like, what's sushi?
Half my friends were Asian. So I grew up in their Oriental stores, the Mendozas, you know, I grew up at those Asian stores. So I knew what sushi was because I have Japanese friends that lived on my block, right on the other side of my block. So I knew what sushi was, seaweed candy, shopao. I mean, I knew all of that stuff. I grew up with all of that stuff. Taiwanese food, Vietnamese food. I knew all of that stuff. I ate all of it. Did not eat squid. I've never been into squid, just or octopus. I mean, I've had octopus when I was a kid. I mean, my friends would always be like, "Mark, try this." So I've had the dried octopus and dried squid. So I mean, yeah. So I tried. So I knew with all that stuff. My dad was Navy, so most of the neighborhood I lived in was Navy, which means there really was no different culture because there was still your white race or whatever, there was still your race, but culture wise, the culture was Navy, America, Navy. We lived under the landing pattern of the fighter jets, of the Navy jets. We lived literally, they would fly landing exactly over my house at the NAS base, which was Gate 4, straight up my street. You go straight up my street, and there's the Gate 4 to NAS Naval Air Station. So, I mean, and then of course, when you go straight through the base and take a left, there's all the carriers, all the aircraft carriers and submarines. So I grew up Navy, straight up Navy. So there was no difference of culture when it came to Navy. Navy was Navy. That was your family. Navy was Navy. So there was no difference as far as that. Everybody had their differences of race and whatever, but in the end, it was all straight up Navy, one family, military.
I never heard of that. I never knew anybody that went on.
See, there's another thing. I also grew. I mean, I was one of those nerds in school, straight up nerd. I was always reading. I was always studying. I learned about ancient cultures from the time I was a kid. Me and my friend who's a teacher, her and I talked about it today. Well, yeah, well, technically today because we talked, until early in the morning and everything. So today, and we grew up knowing about ancient civilizations, ancient societies. I took study of stones, study of minerals. I mean, I grew up studying as much as possible. I grew up learning as much as I possibly could, especially being a Navy brat. So here I am, seeing all these other different cultures that were just in my neighborhood alone. And I was like, ooh, I want to learn about this. Ooh, I want to learn about this. Ooh, I want to learn about this. I used to get on Black people. Now, mind you, yes, and I'm talking about the ones who grew up in like Black neighborhoods. It's like we're in the same school, we're in the same class. You know how to use the card catalog. You do know there's a whole bunch of books that you can read. Oh, I don't want to read any of that stuff. I just know Black culture. We're Americans. We're not in Africa. You learn culture as in all cultures. I mean, remember Schoolhouse Rock and all that stuff? And there was that one song that dealt with the melting pot thing. You know, that is what I learned about our country. The melting pot, learning all these different cultures, learning, as I said, out of all the people that I grew up, the Asians weren't necessarily racist. Yes, some of them are because they have that whole mistrust of America, kind of thing. But and I'll tell you, and I will admit straight up, a lot of the Asians I knew, their families, the ones who barely spoke any English, if they spoke English at all, were straight up racist. It's funny, as I said, I grew up dealing with the Klan, skinheads, straight up white racists, white supremacists. And the majority of the racism I ever dealt with was first and foremost Black people. That's at the top. Second, the Asians. The Asians were more racist than the white people. So when people want to talk about white privilege and white racist and everything else, stop with the lies. You're straight up lying. Blacks are way more racist and Asians second, above whites any day. Try dating a Filipino daughter and not be Filipino. Yeah. You'll see really quick how racist they are.
Never heard of hiking as much. It wasn't something that Black people never did.
Whoa. Black people do hike. I'm a country boy. Black people hike. So I don't know. I guess it's so when I love when people try to say or talk in a way that blacks are so unified. That is also a myth. That is also a straight up lie. Black people do hike. Oh, Black people don't fish. Motherfucker, where the hell did you think I learned how to fish? It's from my Black relatives. Black people do fish. Black people don't swim. We swam in the river all the time. Black people do swim. I'm talking about my country. When I'm talking blacks on my end, when you want to talk black, like country black, I'm using my country relatives as the example. So Black people not fishing, Black people fish. Black people don't swim. Black people swim. What the hell are you talking about? All these myths that they have for Black people, it's not all Black people. Again, more lies perpetuated by a lot of ignorant Blacks. Do not let this. I cannot believe we are almost in 2020 and we're talking about ignorance that I grew up with in the damn 70s. We're talking over 40 years ago, and blacks are still this stupid and ignorant? What the? No. This is one of the reasons why, as I said, I'm going to start making my videos. There's no way that blacks can be still this stupid and ignorant when we're almost in 2020. This is something that I lived with, grew through, and outgrew 40 something years ago. So this bullshit that Black people want to try and still throw out there today is a straight lie, fabricated. The only way that Black people would still be dealing with this crap now is if it's forced upon them. Hello? Computers were invented a long time ago now. So how in the hell do we have access to more? And I say this a lot. This was a conversation I had earlier today. Kids today are dumber than dirt. And how is that possible? Until my teacher friend said, she goes, because of the fact that everything is at your fingertips, that everything is at your fingertips, they don't retain knowledge anymore. Well, I could just look it up. So they don't actually learn anything anymore. The knowledge doesn't stay in their mind anymore because it's all on my phone, right? It's all I could just, Wi-Fi or my cell signal. I could just Google it real quick. That's why kids, I was like, and when she said it, I was like, oh my God, you finally gave me an answer to something I've been debating for the last almost 10 years. How is it that these kids today have more information and much more easily accessible, access to that information than we ever had growing up? We didn't have computers. We sure as hell didn't have cell phones, not until my adulthood. There was no Google. We had our card catalog, which we had to know how to use, and we had to go get the library book to learn stuff. And that was if the library book was in there. Or with certain libraries that had microfiche. You had to know how to use the microfiche system, that catalog. And also, again, hopefully the which you can't check those out because the big machines for microfiche was there. For those of y'all who don't know what microfiche is, Google it. But we actually had to retain knowledge, learn knowledge. The reason why kids are so dumb, the majority, not all, some still have really good parents, but the majority of these young people today are dumber than dirt, is because everything is in their damn phones or on their laptops or whatever. None of it is up here anymore. Which I did bring up because she said it and I was like, damn, we are definitely, right here. Because she said it. She goes, we need an EMP to knock out all technology. And I was like, I got you. We're right here. Because most of our friends live within walking distance. And I'm talking walking. For those of y'all who, when we say like over yonder or like up the road, it's like right, it's up the road, so over here, over that yonder, over there, talking walking. So when she said it, I started laughing. I was like, yeah, see, we grew up having to go to your friend's house to see if he was there, or call him on the phone. Hopefully somebody, because call waiting didn't exist until later. So I'm fine. Excuse me. I've had those friends where it's like, Mark, you can't get along without technology. Yeah, I can. I've got all my books. I've got all my games, tabletop games, board games. I collect chess sets. It's like, I'm great. Technology goes, I know how to build a fire. I know how to hunt. I know how to fish. I know how to farm. So I'm good. Technology goes away, I'm golden. The majority of the young people in the world gonna die off. And tell you the truth, that'll take care of overpopulation right then and there. Overpopulation, it would take care of a lot of stuff that we're complaining about right now. I know how to ride horses, bit and bridle, all that stuff, saddle horses. I know how to do all that. I know how to shoe a horse. So I'm golden. I know how to tame animals. I'm a farm boy. Know how to tame animals and how to train dogs. Shit, my cat's fucking trained. So seriously, technology, we fucking hit in Escape from LA, what Snake Plissken or whatever from whatever the movie, the second movie, not Escape from New York, second, but we set off an EMP. I'm good. I am damn good.
There's a lot of other things I never thought of before. Organic food. Never heard of organic food growing up. Nobody ever.
I'm a farm boy, so organic food was the organic was food was go get some peas. Go out in the field and go pick some peas and everything and snap them and and pull the strings off of them. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Go get some corn off the stalks and shuck them. If you don't know what it is, look it up.
Ate organic food. I remember going to the grocery store, and the rare times I saw organic food, I thought something was wrong with it. I thought it was the abnormal food. I thought the normal food was the stuff that don't have the labels on it, and then the stuff that said organic was some kind of weird food, some kind of stuff that got hormones in it or something crazy. That's why they charged me for it. That's what life was like for me. That's what reality was. And I got to college, and I started being introduced to these different aspects of life, different avenues of life that I didn't know about. And so, therefore, my mindset towards dating and women started changing, because now I realize, oh, I really like sushi. I think hiking is a great idea. I love hiking. I love exercise. Organic food obviously is better for you. I really want to eat organic. So then the funny thing,
for those of my friends who don't know what organic is, it means it's food that's like naturally grown, no chemicals, basically farm. Ah, farm people are like organic. You mean just straight off the stalks, straight off the plant, straight off the stems. That's what organic is. So people like me who are farm people, farm boys, we're just like organic means like how I grew my okra and my green peppers and my snap peas and everything that I grew in my garden. That's what organic means. No chemicals. It's not processed, real. So when they say organic, that just kind of bothers me. It bothers me in the sense that, people don't know what real. We're talking real, straight up, naturally grown.
Is that now when your dating pool starts to be evaluated, now white women become more of the prototype for what I wanted. And I'm not saying it's every white woman's like that, every black woman is not like that. What I'm saying is that that's kind of happens to you when you go to college based on a demographic and or experiencing and exposure to different realities. So with that being said, that's what I started seeing. And I started realizing that single parent homes weren't normal. I started realizing that not knowing your dad ain't normal.
Nope.
And I start seeing situations and cultural situations where I was exposed to women who knew how to treat a man, because mom and dad was married her whole life. And she knew what.
Oh, for all my friends, and everything, please like and share so that way, I can try and build my fan base and everything, because I don't know. I think I'm going to eventually rename this channel, to, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good way of naming it that says what it is I'm doing. I mean, to describe it, it is, I'm someone who's 49, born 1970. I am literally at that middle ground between having no computers and technology and all that stuff like that, growing up with like starting out literally 1970s still with the rotary phone before touch dial, shit, my grandma at the farm back in the day, like when I was like a child, still had the whole crank phone. Y'all don't know what that is? Look it up. Had the crank phone where they had to call the switch operator. So I grew up literally from the time of the end of that technology to going into computers to where we're at now. I went through like all of that. So I want to, I don't know, create a name that says that I have that expert knowledge, that expert experience, because I lived through all before computers, the intro into computers, learned about computers. I've got a microcomputer technology degree, and to today, I mean, I know all of that stuff. So I'm that kind of person that I look at kids today when they complain about stuff like, bitch, we didn't have any of that shit. And we did great because y'all didn't know any better. Or let me explain something to you, dumbass. We have the technology now, stupid. We're still saying, even with all the technology and everything else, the life we led, way better than yours. Way better.
How to be ladylike, how to be compassionate, how to be loving, and different things that I think that some cultural dynamics hinder people from being exposed to and experiencing. And so that became attractive. That became a necessity. I wanted to start over.
I hate to tell you, because what he's saying, I went through it too. If I had a chance if I had a chance to redo my life again, yeah, I would. Especially if I got to keep all the knowledge and experience I have and just put it in my younger self. But if I had a choice of being me or being white or Asian, especially, I would take white or Asian any day over being black. Any day. And it has nothing to do with some white privilege or white anything, because nothing white ever stopped me from being me, period. So I'm still going to live the life I want to live. What I'm saying is the life would have been better for me. It would have been better for me. I know he's about to say the same damn thing. Blacks have, it's almost a really just criminal culture. I know I'm probably going to have to do an entire video about that some other time of what I'm talking about. But it's true. Like being loud in a theater. I mean, it's like, it's a culture that it's almost like it's meant to be disruptive. As I said, when I asked my mom, why are you that way? One day, I just happened to ask her. It's like, Mom, I'm just curious, but why do you got to be the way that you are? And she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, I need to be honest, but why are you so loud and rude and crude and just obnoxious? And, well, that's just the way black people are. And you don't be telling me, it's like she just went off like a black person does. And I was like, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Mom. That's what I'm talking about. That's not really attractive. It's not.
Have a life that I didn't have. I wanted to be exposed to things that I didn't have. I wanted to be exposed to family dinners that I didn't have. And
I grew up watching my three sons, which of course was a single dad with his three sons, but it still was a close-knit family. Growing up watching the Waltons, growing up, and I said, oh, so you grew up watching all these white shows. Yeah. But then let's take the Jeffersons for that matter. Good, strong black family, but that believed in family. Let's take Good Times, for example. Good black family living in the ghetto, working their butts off, trying to get out of the ghetto, not trying to let the blackness keep them down, but at the same time still be black. If I had that kind of life, it wouldn't have mattered, and in a way I technically did. But at the same time, I also grew up we didn't have the family dinners. We didn't have, my dad was just, he was an abusive asshole. So I saw the way my friends were. And I already know that none of their lives some of them weren't technically perfect and shit, but they had stuff I never got. They had access to things I never had access to. Not that we didn't have the money, which I found out later. It was because my dad was just a piece of shit.
Grandma and grandpa been together. Mom and daddy been together. Everybody in the same family. Everybody got the same kids. It becomes appealing to young African-American men who come into college and be exposed to a life that they...
And I love when people want to say it's a white privilege thing. How are family dinners and being a close-knit family a white thing? Because I hate to tell you, black people, but you're not helping your cause by saying having a close-knit family and good family dinners and wholesome family is a strictly white thing. You're not exactly helping your cause if that's the bullshit you want to lead with. That blacks are supposed to be loud, obnoxious, not family-oriented, divorced, the dad's in jail and everything. You're not exactly helping your cause here if you're saying that that's part of black culture. You're not helping yourselves by saying something stupid, that, well, that's a white thing. Having a good family is a white thing. What is it? All the latest bullshit that has come out now, that math is racist. You do realize where Egypt is, right? Huh? You do realize they needed to have math in order to make the pyramids, in order to make the Sphinx, in order to create all the stuff that they've created that we to this day still can't figure out how the hell they perfected the shit they perfected that is still standing thousands of years later. You need math for that. So how is math racist?
Did not have previously, and that they were not exposed to. So now, and again, I want to preface that it's more about culture and less about race.
But But whose culture though? I understand he's saying it, but I've watched other videos dealing with black people where they want to keep throwing out the word culture. Whose culture? Blacks did everything they could to get out of slavery, get away from slavery, and to say that they were just as equal as the white slave masters who owned them and then got freed, and then somehow have gone backwards. Instead of doing everything to climb up that hill, to get to the top, as the Jeffersons would say, to be in the big leagues. Somehow or another, blacks deliberately are going backwards to be ignorant dumbasses that our ancestors did everything they could to fight and get to the top of that mountain. What the hell is going on? Our ancestors suffered. Our slave relatives and ancestors suffered to go through the shit they went through just for y'all to go backwards? No.
In this culture, and you realize that this culture is something that you think is better for you. It's more conducive to your success and your happiness. And then you never go back. You never go back, and that is now the standard. And it typically ends up being more white women. Now, for me, obviously, and most black people I know, that race don't mean anything, but that cultural dynamic does. And what happens is there's a certain group of people primarily fall in that cultural dynamic. And then there's a certain group of people that fall in the previous culture dynamic. And that stimulates.
Oh,
I'm Adam Driver.
Oh, there's stupid commercials.
In the armed forces.
Shut up. We don't give a shit.
The dating pool and certain young men who decide to date outside of their race. So hopefully I said that. That's a lot. That's a mouthful.
Okay, I hate to tell you, Brandon, but you actually didn't say anything. Why black men choose white women over black women, he actually said a whole bunch of crap, but he actually didn't say anything. I thought he was going to say the shit that I've been saying for years. The reason why black men choose white women is because we don't want somebody who's going to be a sister, all ghetto and all in our face and all this other bullshit. We're talking a relationship. So we're talking relationship or marriage or whatever. We want somebody who's going to be, oh, you black. I've had somebody say this. Oh, you just want to date white women so you can control them, like they are your slaves and shit. And it's like, what? No, that may be the case for some black men, but you also do realize a lot of black women are just as much. Hello, remember some of the Medea movies where the black man was in charge and slapping his wife around and controlling his wife and everything? That becomes a man-woman thing, not a black or white thing. That's just an individual male and woman thing. There's no culture or whatever when it comes to that bullshit. But the reason why, and I'm going to say it straight out the way he didn't, we want to date, and he did kind of say it, but he said it in a real roundabout, nice way, which I guess he was that way. Because if you notice, look at how the video is from 2 years ago. And if you watch some of his latest stuff, he is straight up like the way I am now, the way I've always been. But look at his video, how he was 2 years ago, all prim and proper and just all like, but no, the way he talks now, I guarantee if he were to make this video today, he'd have been like, no, the reason why black men don't date, black women is because black women are fucking bitches and, straight up ghetto. And that right there is the reason why. We don't want someone who's going to be a rabid dog, someone who's just, what is it? Key and Peele did an episode, many episodes, skits, not skits within episodes during the course of their show, of the white guy who's dated to a black woman, the one who's doing the kids say the darndest thing now. That bitch is not an example for kids. I don't know why the hell she's on. We are giving TV shows to the Snoop Dogg has a game show or TV show. What happened to good, wholesome TV shows? It's not about wholesome TV shows. It's about who's more ghetto than someone else now. What have we come to? So stupid. But no, black men don't want to date white women because white women will do all they can to prop us up. They'll do all that they can to hold us to a better standard, to push us up. Black women, the majority of them do a lot of shit to prop themselves up, but tearing you down. Oh, no, that ain't it. It's just that those white bitches are just a bunch of slaves and supporting me, holding me up, trying to do everything they can to support us and be there for us. That's slavery. Then what the hell do you call what you're doing? Oh, we're just trying to make y'all to be stronger men. No, being a stronger man is about being supportive. It's all what you're talking about is you want to be the bitch you just want to be, and it ain't got nothing to do with him at all. I'm talking from personal experience from people I've seen. You get these black ass girlfriends and wives, and all they do is to do everything they can to tear you down, not build you up, but tear you down. And then when you go to leave their asses, all of a sudden they change their tune, don't they? Yeah, they tried to do the whole, oh, go on there, I get somebody else, go on there. But then they become psycho on your ass, and don't you dare date no white woman and everything. If I ever find out yeah, fine, I'll let you go, fine. But if I ever find out you date a white woman, oh, I'll beat her ass. See, it ain't about a race thing. It's not about a culture thing. Black women are just, most of them are just straight up bitches. That's what he should have said 2 years ago, because I've been saying that since I was 11, 12. This ain't a new occurrence. This isn't an adult comment I'm making. This is literally me from like 11, 12 years old knowing straight up that black women were bitches. Black girls were straight up bitches. Why would I be attracted to something like that? That's not attractive. It's like I want somebody I can date. I want somebody I'm going to be in a relationship with. That ain't it when it comes to black women. It's like, no. Same reason why I won't date some chola either. I'm not going to date somebody who's ghetto. Just listen to the way I talk. I'm a very educated man. I was military intelligence in the Army. I want somebody that has a brain in their head, on their shoulders, somebody that can hold a conversation, who could talk about many things where it's fiction, nonfiction, fantasy, sci-fi, all of that, but it's constantly in using your brain. That's what I want. I don't want somebody who's just straight up ghetto and everything they do is ghetto. Like their whole life is about being ghetto. That is not something I want. So I don't want to date no ghetto black person. I'm not dating no ghetto Latina person. I'm not going to date no fucking white crack whore trailer park girl either. Ghetto. I've dated trailer park girls, but we're talking about the ones that have done, to elevate past where they are to go where they want to be. Not people who are ghetto. Even if you take them out of ghetto, they're still ghetto. I'm not saying, because I know where I came from, doesn't mean I want to go back either. I know where I came from, and I know damn well I'm straight up real. I'm not some damn sellout or anything like that. So any black person wants to confront me to be like, oh, he's just some white person, I can get black on you really quick because I'm country black. So I can get black on you really damn quick. So I'm not some weak ass. I'm a Navy brat, military, and I don't mean military as intelligence as in like I'm some like, all right, cup and tea and, ta-ta and all that. No, I'm straight up, I hunt, shoot, kill, skin, all of that shit. I use my brain. Sure as hell doesn't mean I don't use my brawn. That's for damn sure. My black mom definitely made sure of that. Anyway, my videos always seem to go much longer than I really want them to. His video was only 11 minutes, 11 seconds, but I kept interrupting. I had to put my 2 cents in. Eventually, as I said, my videos will get down to hopefully around, at least at the most, maybe 35 minutes. But I have a lot to say. I'm not just some 49-year-old and have 49 years of experience. When I talk to people who are even older than me, they even say, man, you've done more than my 60-something years of my life. I tell people, it's like, you do realize there's 365 days in a year. So it means that you can constantly be busy doing shit. 365 days. So you can experience shit every damn day if you really want to. So yeah, me and my friends, we did a lot, or I did a lot. When I was stationed in Monterey, shit, I was getting people out of the barracks and be like, hey, let's drive up Highway 1. Let's go to San Francisco. Let's go do this. Let's go do. I was constantly like, let's go do something. Let's go. Here in El Paso, I'm like, all right, let's go to Cloudcroft. Let's go to Ruidoso. Let's go do something. Chop, chop. Let's go do something. When I am able, as I said, being a disabled vet, so crap that I'm going through and everything else. But I've been the kind of person who wants to experience life. And I would see a lot of black people were like every Friday and Saturday just hanging at the corner. It's like that's your life, just hanging at the corner every Friday and Saturday. Or coming here to El Paso, and a lot of the Mexicans, just every Friday and Saturday, and even on Sunday, getting together and just drinking. I was married to a Mexican woman, and she was like, and I'm sitting here going, damn, these people drink. It's like, it's just 9 a.m. She goes, yeah, here, she's from here. It's like, yeah, they drink just for the sake of drinking. They will make up holidays just so they can drink. And this isn't just my wife. This is coming from every fucking Mexican person I know. It's like, yeah, we will make up a holiday. It's like you'll be like a cousin that we don't even like. Let's throw them a birthday party just so they could drink. I mean, as I said, when I moved out here, it was Monday morning, 9 a.m. and they were already buying 40s. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And this was fall. The only time I ever saw that happening was during summertime, beach time, because it's, spring and summertime. And hey, that's what I saw. This was already fall. And it's El Paso. It's not like they have a beach. They have a ton of sand, no water, you know. And I'm just like, man, and that's when it wasn't a stereo. I like when people say, oh, it's a stereotype. No, dude, this come from the Mexicans I was married to, friends with. I live here at the damn border. They're like, ain't no damn stereotype. We drink. We drink all the damn time. We drink just for the hell of drinking. It's like, it's a kid's party. We don't care. We're going to drink anyway. So, but it's still my point being, it's like, do y'all do anything else? I'd be trying to get people like, let's get in the car and let's just drive to Vegas. Oh, I don't know. It's like, damn, man, Black people are just as boring as you all are. There's a whole world out there, right? All I need to learn or know is right here at home, with the ama and abuela and everybody. And I'm just like, there's a whole world. There's a whole life of learning, experiencing, seeing what else is out there. I mean, if I had felt that way, I never would have gotten into computers. I mean, I would have just stayed my old fashioned. Oh no, I'm gonna stick with my touch dial phone, bro. Oh my god. I keep getting off subject. But anyway, yeah, whatever, cat. All right, love y'all. We'll talk to y'all later. Update stuff. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, peace out. As I said, like and share so we can expand this and everything and try and I want to reach as many people as possible. I want to piss off as many people as damn possible. It's just what I wants to do. All right. Peace out.